Hey guys, welcome back to the MedLife Experience channel. So today we're going to go ahead and bust some myths for everybody about medical school. So if any questions or anything you have, just go ahead and email me, but we're going to go ahead and start with some of the myths that we found online.
So the first myth is you have to say goodbye to your social life.
That is a good one to bring up. That all just depends on the type of person you are, because there's obviously people who rather do their schoolwork just 100% and no social life, just because a lot of people are really determined and that's just how they work best. But I definitely encourage everyone to keep their social life. It's definitely doable. I definitely have a social life outside of medical school, probably more of a social life than I should be having, honestly. But that's definitely not true. So medical school does really well in making sure you have extra time to have a social life. So usually tests will be on Friday, have the weekend to do whatever you need to do to catch up on grocery shopping or just hanging out with friends. So
the next myth is that it's not that the information is hard, it's just that there's so much of it. Is that true or false?
I think that's true. So like for Indiana, if I were to give you guys like an example, we were sometimes, or most of the time, there'd be about 200 slides, PowerPoint slides per day that we had to know, and that's usually a lot. If you're comparing stuff to like undergrad, you usually don't get that much, and just 200 slides a day, not like every other day. Fall behind one day, you're gonna end up 400 slides behind, and then 600, so it just all adds on. Of course, the material is going to be new stuff, but I mean, it's definitely doable. So it's just, you have to definitely manage your time well.
So the next myth is that if you fail a test, it's the end of the world for you.
It's the end of the world?
Is it?
No. So medical school does a really good job in making sure that you don't fail, but I mean, it definitely happens sometimes. I didn't pass all of my exams in med school, just saying. I didn't pass one, and I was of course freaking out. Didn't know what to expect. Was I going to have to redo all of my first year of medical school? But no, definitely that's not the case. The school works with you and makes sure that you're learning the material that you missed, and they make sure that you have the right tools or study tools in your pocket so that it doesn't happen again. They offer tutors, all for free, and there are other med students too who took the class very not too long ago. So I mean, they're going to know what you're going through and teach you like tips and tricks on how to be a good test taker, because some of us are just not good test takers, like me. So we know the material, but when it comes to test taking, we just have a little bit more of a struggle versus other students. But it's definitely not the end of the world. There are definitely people in med school who fail more than one exam, and they're at the end of the day still going to graduate and still be an MD. But you just have to keep working hard and not give up. I think that's the hardest part.
The next myth is it true that you have to do research over the summer in med school?
So for your first year, after your first year, you have that summer, and it's a dedicated summer that a lot of students use for research. They're looking into the specialty. They require summer research in something at least, but a lot of people don't know what they want to do by their first year. So as long as you do something, it's looked very well upon, but it's not required. It just depends what you're trying to do later on in life. But I definitely recommend you do research, because you're definitely learning new things and expanding your knowledge, and you're gonna have fun while doing it. And then I did a summer research program at UCLA, dream school of mine after Indiana University, of course. So I did a summer research project for student research in medicine of aging. It's called the MSTAR program. It is research in geriatric medicine, and I was able to live on campus at UCLA. So I would definitely recommend, if you're doing your research program, try to live on campus. And I shadowed a lot of physicians from UCLA in the geriatric specialty. and it was just an amazing summer experience. So definitely do summer research.
Okay, so the next one is all-nighters are the new normal. So you have to pull all-nighters all the time.
Oh, that's a good one. I think the last time I did an all-nighter was in undergrad, maybe my freshman year and sophomore year, and I told myself I was never doing that again. So I'd have never pulled an all-nighter in medical school. I think the latest I've ended up studying would probably be maybe like 12 or 1. But that was in my first year when I just didn't know what to expect. Kind of developed new skills in studying and realized how medical school is and getting the hang of things. I definitely didn't study past 11 p.m. Just because my brain doesn't work that well. Some people are night owls and they study better at night. Some people study better in the morning. I have a good friend who always makes himself or sets time aside to get 8 hours of sleep, always. So, I mean, whatever time he goes to bed, he adds 8 hours and he's not waking up before that. And having a good sleep hygiene will help solidify material. I mean, that's just based off of evidence. You're definitely going to find your own schedule and niche in med school, but try to get 8 hours of sleep. I think you don't need to, in my experience.
The competition in med school is tough. Everyone's smart. You feel dumb. Is that true?
I mean, from my personal opinion, it's happened to me. I've felt not as smart as my other classmates. I think that it's very hard for med students to kind of come to realize that you've made it and you don't have to compete with anybody anymore, just because a lot of us have that competitive edge to us already. But once you're in, you basically shouldn't be comparing yourself to your other classmates, just because you all should be on the same boat. There's always going to be people who get a higher test score than you or who know more than you, but I mean, at the end of the day, everyone's going to get the same degree, and everyone's going to go off in their own ways to whatever residency or like specialty they choose to go to. So you shouldn't feel that way, but it might happen. I'll forewarn everybody that it will happen to you at some point. You're not dumb, and you're basically comparing yourself to the top 10%, and that's it.
Yep.
So I think that was all of our myths, and yeah, so if you have any other questions, don't forget to email us, subscribe, and let us know what other ideas you guys have for videos, and like the videos. Thank you. Is another you can pause it. Wearing glasses, retarded. Cut that out. It's just good to have friends.